Have you ever found yourself standing in the middle of your kitchen, heart racing, voice rising, pleading with a small human who is looking at you like you are a piece of furniture they just decided they don't like? You've tried the gentle conversations. You've tried the firm timeouts. You've tried the reward charts with the gold stars that are currently peeling off the refrigerator door. And yet there is that feeling, that deep sinking suspicion that your child simply does not respect you. You might think it's because of social media, or their peer group, or a lack of discipline in schools. But what if I told you that recent breakthroughs in neurobiology and developmental psychology have revealed a completely different culprit? There is one specific thing that parents do, often with the best of intentions, that accidentally dismantles their own authority in the eyes of their child. It's not about being too strict or too soft. It's about a biological disconnect that happens in the split second before you open your mouth. If you feel like you're losing the battle for respect in your own home, stay with me, because the number one reason for this disconnect is going to change the way you look at your parenting forever. To understand why respect is slipping through your fingers, we have to look at the brain of a child. We often treat children like miniature adults who just need more information. We think if we explain our why enough times, they will eventually see the logic and say, "You know what, Mom? You're right, cleaning my room is a vital life skill." But a child's brain is not a logic machine. It is a connection and safety machine. Their prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for reasoning, is a construction site that won't be finished until they are in their mid-20s. What they have instead is a highly active limbic system, the emotional center. This part of the brain is scanning you every second of the day, not for your words, but for your internal state. And here is where the first revealed truth comes in. The number one reason your child doesn't respect you is emotional incongruence. What does that mean? It means your child is seeing a mismatch between how you feel on the inside and how you are acting on the outside. Imagine you are frustrated, exhausted, and feeling totally disrespected. But instead of showing that in a healthy way, you put on a calm parent mask. You use a high-pitched, gentle voice to say, "Sweetie, please put your shoes away." While on the inside, your nervous system is screaming. Your child's brain detects this mismatch instantly. To their primitive brain, a person whose outsides don't match their insides is unpredictable. You cannot respect or follow an unpredictable leader. You might obey them out of fear, or you might ignore them out of confusion. But you cannot truly respect them because your biology doesn't feel safe with them. Respect is a byproduct of safety. When a child feels that their parent is a solid, honest, and congruent human being, they relax. Their nervous system enters a state called social engagement. They are actually capable of hearing your words. Or when we react with leaking frustration while trying to be nice, we trigger their fight or flight response. Suddenly, they aren't listening to your request about the shoes. They are defending themselves against the vibes. They are picking up from you. They push back, they roll their eyes, or they ignore you because their brain is trying to find certainty in an uncertain emotional environment. The eye roll isn't an act of malice. It's a biological shield. Recent scientific discoveries in mirror neurons show that children literally catch the emotions of their parents. If you are anxious about their lack of respect, they will mirror that anxiety back to you in the form of defiance. Respect isn't something you demand through words. It's an atmosphere you create through your own emotional stability. We've been told for years that the ideal parent is a person who never loses their temper and is always a calm, Zen-like figure. But the data suggests that being a real person is actually more effective. When you are honest about your boundaries, "I am feeling very frustrated right now, and I need some space before we finish this talk," you are showing your child a congruent internal and external state. You become a predictable and safe leader. Let's look at the social architecture of the modern home. We are living in a time of high-intensity parenting. We feel the pressure to be perfect. We over-explain, we over-negotiate, and we try to make our children happy at all times. But here is the shocker. When you negotiate your boundaries, you are telling your child that your leadership is up for debate. Think about a ship captain. Does the captain ask the passengers what time they'd like to avoid the storm? The captain leads. Children, especially younger ones, have a deep biological need for a strong leader to navigate the big, scary world. When we act like their peer, or when we are too scared to hold a boundary because we want them to like us, you have just taught your child's brain that your words have no weight. You aren't being kind by giving in. you are being untrustworthy to their developing brain. They lose respect for your no because they've learned it's just a suggestion, not a reality. To build respect, your no must be as solid as a mountain, and your yes must be as bright as the sun. But how do we change this? It starts with nervous system regulation. You cannot lead a child if you cannot lead yourself. When your child is acting out, your own brain is likely triggering. You might feel a jolt in your chest or a heat in your neck. This is your inner child reacting to being ignored. If you react from that triggered place, you are just two children fighting over power. To reclaim respect, you must be the Clydesdale in the room. A Clydesdale horse is massive, powerful, and incredibly calm. It doesn't need to kick or neigh to prove its strength. Its presence is enough. When you can stay regulated while your child is storming, you are demonstrating a higher level of consciousness that commands respect. Another major reason for the respect gap is validation without leadership. We've been taught to validate every feeling. I hear that you're mad that the ice cream is gone. This is great for empathy, but it becomes a problem when it lacks direction. If you validate the feeling but then let the feeling dictate the rules, you are handing the steering wheel to someone who doesn't have a license. Respect comes from a parent who can say, "I see you're mad, and I understand why. And we are still leaving the park now." It acknowledges the child's reality without sacrificing the parent's authority. Let's talk about the power of the pause. In a high-stakes parenting moment, like when they talk back, the biological countdown begins. Your brain wants to fire back a retort. "Don't you talk to me like that? I pay for the roof over your head." But that retort comes from a place of defensiveness, and defensiveness is a sign of weakness to a child's subconscious. To gain respect, try the silent witness technique. When they are disrespectful, simply stop. Look at them with a neutral, slightly curious expression. Let the silence hang in the air. This pause forces them to sit with their own behavior. It shows them that you are too solid to be knocked off balance by their words. You are the mountain, and their behavior is just the wind. The wind doesn't hurt the mountain. Recent neuroscientific research has revealed something called co-regulation. A child's brain literally cannot calm itself down during a meltdown. It needs to borrow your calm. If you become dysregulated alongside them, you are both falling off the cliff. But if you remain the anchor, you are teaching their brain how to self-regulate. Over time, the child respects the anchor because they recognize you as the person who helps them survive their own big emotions. Respect is the gratitude their nervous system has for your stability. There is also the communication trap. We use too many words. When we are stressed, we talk and talk and talk. We give lectures that the child stopped listening to after the second sentence. In the language of the brain, more words often mean less power. Think about a king or an authority figure. They don't give 20-minute speeches about why you should follow the law. They speak with brief authority. To reclaim respect, try the less is more approach. Give clear, short instructions. If you need to have a deep conversation, wait until everyone is calm and reconnected. A lecture delivered in the middle of a conflict is just noise to a child's brain. What about the reward culture? Many parents try to buy respect through bribes or constant praise. But external motivation like this actually erodes internal respect. If the only reason they listen to you is for a candy bar, they aren't respecting you. They are respecting the candy. When the candy is gone, the respect is gone. To build legacy respect, you have to focus on intrinsic values. You recognize their effort, not just their outcome. You build a relationship based on genuine connection rather than transaction. Let's look at digital distraction. In many homes, the biological presence of the parent is missing even when they are in the room. We are looking at our phones, thinking about work or managing a million mental tabs. When we finally interact with our children, it's often reactive. We bark in order because we were surprised by their behavior. This interrupted parenting makes the child feel like they are an inconvenience rather than a priority. You cannot respect someone who treats you like a distraction. Giving your child undivided presence, even for just 15 minutes a day, creates a reservoir of connection that makes them much more likely to follow your lead when the going gets tough. There is a concept in psychology called parental efficacy. It's your belief in your own ability to parent. If you are constantly doubting yourself, reading 50 different books on what to do, and second-guessing every choice, your child will internalize that doubt. They will feel that you aren't sure of where you're going. So why should they follow you? Respect comes from a parent who owns the room. This doesn't mean being a bully. It means having a quiet confidence in your role. You are the parent. You are the one responsible for their safety and growth. When you step into that role fully, your child's brain breathes a sigh of relief. Oh, thank goodness. Someone is in charge. Let's discuss the apology paradox. Some parents think that apologizing to a child makes them look weak or lose respect. The science says the exact opposite. When you mess up, and you come back to your child and say, "I'm sorry I yelled earlier. I was feeling frustrated and I didn't handle it well." You are modeling integrity. You are showing them that the rules of respect apply to everyone in the house, including you. This vulnerability with strength is the highest form of leadership. It teaches the child that respect is about accountability, not perfection. Recent criminology and social development studies have looked at authoritative versus authoritarian parenting. Authoritarian parents are the "because I said so" crowd. They demand respect, but what they usually get is fear-based compliance. Authoritative parents, however, combine high warmth with high boundaries. They are the ones who get the big one, the heart-deep respect. This happens because the child feels seen and safe, but also directed. If you are lacking respect, check your warmth to boundary ratio. Are you all boundaries and no warmth, or all warmth and no boundaries? The sweet spot is where respect thrives. We also have to consider the physical environment. Our homes are often high-stress baselines, cluttered, loud, and rushed. This sensory overload keeps everyone's nervous systems on edge. It's hard to be respectful when you are overstimulated. Creating quiet zones or predictable rhythms, like a solid bedtime routine or a phone-free dinner, lowers the collective cortisol of the family. When everyone is calmer, everyone is more respectful. You are managing the atmosphere of authority. One of the most interesting scientific discoveries in parenting is the power of play. We think of play as something children do to stay busy, but in the language of the brain, play is connection. When you play with your child, you are leveling the playing field in a way that actually increases your authority. You are gaining social capital. You are spending the capital you earn during play. If you have no capital, your orders feel like aggression. If you have a lot of capital, your orders feel like guidance. Let's talk about the developmental reality of different ages. A 3-year-old disrespecting you by saying no is actually a healthy biological milestone. They are discovering they are a separate person from you. If you take this personal, you lose. You are fighting against development. The respect you want at 3 is safe containment. However, respect looks different. It's about consultation and value. If you try to use 3-year-old tactics on a 13-year-old, you will get a riot. Understanding the stage of the brain allows you to tailor your leadership so it remains respectable as the child grows. The number one reason again, emotional incongruence. It's the secret saboteur. You might be doing everything right on paper, but if your vibe is disjointed, the respect won't stick. The antidote is authentic presence. It means being okay with your own messy human emotions, but managing them so they don't become the child's problem. It means being the solid object in their lives. It means realizing that your authority is a gift you give them, not a club you use against them. Think about the Clydesdale again. When that horse walks down the street, it doesn't look around to see if everyone is admiring it. It doesn't get rattled by a barking dog. It just is. That is sovereign parenting. It is a state of being where your worth is not dependent on your child's compliance. When you unlink your own self-esteem from your child's behavior, you gain a superpower. You stop reacting and start responding. And in that space, respect grows naturally, like grass after a rain. Wait, what about the social media influence? The world is louder than it's ever been. Your child is getting data about how to act from 1,000 different sources. But you are their primary biological programmer. The raw data of your home life always carries more weight than a 30-second clip on a screen. If your home life is grounded in reality, do not fear the world. Focus on the heart of the house. If the heart of the house is congruent and safe, the world's influence will be second tier. There is a legal metaphor we can use here. In a courtroom, the judge has respect not because they are nice or mean, but because they represent the law. They are impersonal in their delivery, but consistent in their application. They don't take it personally when a lawyer objects. They just rule. To get more respect, be the judge in your house. Not a judgmental person, but a principled ruler. Your rules are the laws of the land, and you are there to uphold them with calm finality. No one argues with the laws of gravity, they just learn to live with them. Be the gravity in your home. Recent cognitive science has looked at the predictive brain. Our brains are prediction machines. We are always trying to guess what will happen next. If your child can predict that you will lose your temper, or give in, or get distracted, they will game the system. But if they predict that you will remain calm, clear, and consistent, they stop gaming. They surrender to the predictability. That surrender is what we call respect. It is the moment they stop testing the walls, because they've learned the walls are solid. One of the most powerful rebranding moves you can make is to stop calling it disrespect and start calling it disconnection. When you say my child is being disrespectful, you are in a defensive posture. But when you say my child is feeling disconnected, you are in a curious posture. Curiosity is a high-frequency emotion that allows for problem solving. It moves you from adversary to ally. Being an ally is the fastest way to get back your authority. Let's discuss the biological limit. The reason for the lack of respect is simply exhaustion. A tired brain, a hungry brain, or an overstimulated brain, whether it's yours or the child's, cannot access the respect circuits. If the big one, the major conflict, always happens at 5 o'clock in the evening, that's a biological signal. You don't need a parenting technique. You need a snack and a rest. Respecting the biology of the body is the foundation for the respect of the person. The Lawyer Explains series taught us about preserving the record. In parenting, you are building a record. Every interaction is a data point. If your record shows that you are a person of your word, that you are fair, and that you are in control of yourself, the verdict of respect will be in your favor. But if your record is one of broken promises and emotional volatility, the evidence will lead to a judgment of ignoring. You are the lead counsel in the case of your family life. Build your case with care. In the southern part of the brain, the emotional centers, there is a deep hunger for leadership. Your child is starving for you to be the one who knows the way. They are testing you precisely because they want to confirm you are strong enough to hold them. When they push, they are checking the integrity of the system. If you break or bend, they feel unsafe, and unsafe people don't respect their protectors. They resent them. Stand firm in your love. The 368-year countdown, a metaphor for long-held family patterns, can be stopped today. You don't have to parent the way you were parented. You don't have to follow the scripts of the past. You can awaken to a new way of being. The discovery that respect is a biological result of emotional congruence is your key to the kingdom. No more tricks, no more bribes, no more screaming. Just solid, honest presence. Think about the Oregon seafloor volcano, a metaphor for pent-up family tension. When the pressure is managed, it becomes fertility and new ground. When it's ignored, it becomes a breakout. Don't let the pressure build up. Address the small things with clear boundaries. Don't wait for the big blow-up to act. Micro boundaries delivered with micro warmth create a macro respect. As we wrap up this parenting deep dive, remember that you are doing the hardest engineering project on Earth, building a human. It's okay to have bad days and sinking feels. But don't let those days define your system. Go back to the basics. Are my outsides matching my insides? Am I being the anchor? Am I predictable? If the answer is yes, the respect will come. It might not happen today, and it might not happen tomorrow, but it is inevitable, because it is written in the code of the brain. Your child is not your enemy. They are your mirror. They are revealing parts of you that need leadership. When they disrespect you, they are asking for you to step up into your fullness. Take the invitation. Stop explaining and start being. Stop negotiating and start guiding. Stop hiding and start exposing your healthy. It isn't the method, it's the man or the woman. You are the technique. Your nervous system is the curriculum. When you heal your own dysregulation, you heal the respect in your house. It is a biological fact that no punishment can ever replace. So the next time you are in that kitchen, and the shoes are on the floor, and the eye roll is in the air, take a breath. Don't react. Regulate. Match your inner truth to your outer bound. Say what you mean, and mean what you say, and do it with quiet love. You will see the shift happen right before your eyes. The storm will quiet, the defiance will melt, And in its place, you will find the real thing, a respect that is built to last a lifetime. Stay curious about your own internal map. The more you know yourself, the better you can lead your child. The parenting journey is the ultimate scientific discovery of the self. Enjoy the data, learn from the mistakes, and keep building. You are the captain, the anchor, and the Clydesdale, and your child is waiting for you to take the lead. The countdown is over. Your new era of respect starts right now. No more faking it. No more bribing it. Just the solid, honest, congruent you. And that, my friend, is a discovery that will leave your whole family speechless in the best possible way. The respect is there, waiting to be activated. Go out and be the mountain. You've got this. Keep your eyes on the horizon and your feet on the ground. The code of connection is yours to decode. Let's build a world of shared respect, one healthy bound at a time. This is the parenting law explained. And it's a law you can trust forever.